Okay, Tony, we found a suitable place for a turn in the road. When do you think you need to do a turn in the road?
Well, I'd have to do one on my road because I live in a dead end.
That's the ideal sort of situation. So if you come up and you can't get around, or that there was a lorry blocking, that's when we need to do a 3-point turn. Where do you think you wouldn't do a 3-point turn? Sort of
the places where you told me on the brief.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, so it's a one-way street for obvious reasons. Somewhere it says no U-turns on a motorway, on a dual carriageway. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do, so we're going to start from here. So the objective is to get the car around using forward and reverse gears, facing the other way, not hitting the curb.
Right.
Okay. So what we're going to do, when I tell you, we're going to move the car forward at a snail's pace, slow as we can, using a bit of gas and on the with the clutch control.
Right.
We're going to go forward just slightly so we can get the car moving at the correct speed, and then we're going to get full turn on to the right. Okay. Right. That means like we was doing back there, practicing top to bottom. So it's nice and slow. We're going to get the wheel right round, so that it gets us across the road.
So you want me to go forward but don't turn until you tell me?
That's right. Right. Yep. Okay. So that'll be the first bit. Then we'll get all the way across the road, and then I'm going to give you a couple of reference points for when we're nearing the curb. The first one will be as we come round, and it will be a reference point for when we need to start taking the steering off. In other words, we're turning one way and we're going to help the reverse action by just taking the actual steering off.
Oh, right,
so it makes it easier for us to go back and get back quicker. So there'll be 2 reference points there. Then we're going to stop at the other side of the road, we're going to put our handbrake on, then we're going to go into reverse. We're going to get the car ready again on the biting point. But when we go back, we're going to go back round to the left, so it'll be full. So it'll be a full turn the other way. Right. Okay. So then we'll start going back across the other road, back to the road. And when we go back, I'm going to give you another 2 reference points of A, when to start taking the steering off, and B, when to stop before we hit the actual curb. Right. So again, it makes it easier for when we actually sort of do our third part of it, which is going back the other way. Then we're going to stop the car again. We're going to put it into first gear. We're going to make sure we get into first gear, because what we don't want to do is be looking forward and go backwards and perhaps not, knock into the curb or knock into someone as they're coming past. Right. So, and then again, we're going to get the car moving at a snail's pace again, and we're going to big steering round to the right, and we're going to go up the road and park on the left hand side. All right. Right. That's the actual movements of the car. The other important thing is observations. Now, when we come away from the road here, as you would do from the side of the road anyway, we do our normal observations.
I'm not going to remember all this, am I?
Sorry?
I'm not going to remember all this, am I?
No, but I'm going to talk you through it.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do the observations. Because we're going to go across the road in 3 points, hopefully, we need to be looking up and down the road, but I'm going to talk you through that. All right. Yeah, and I'm going to ask you questions like, what can you see? Tell me what you can see. Okay. Okay. So obviously it's very important that we're looking up and down the road, and we'll have a safety zone, say from the other side of this car in front of us, and if we look behind us, over your left shoulder, you see a car there. Oh yeah. And what colour is that car? That's a silver car. Yeah. So we'll have the safety zone. Yeah. And if a car comes into that, we've obviously got to see it first. Then we're going to stop the car, and then we're going to have a look to see if we can get them past us safely, if it's okay. Or if not, we're going to carry on. Okay. One of the most important things is we mustn't, if we stop the car and the car's going to come along, we mustn't be moving while that car's coming along. Oh, okay. But I'm going to sort of talk you all the way through that if we see something. Right. So our first action is going to be, like we did coming out the test station, is to move the car nice and slow. Right. So what we're going to do is just prepare the car like you would normally. So clutch down into first, biting point, but don't go nowhere. Keep your feet still. Yeah. Now we're going to do observations. So we're going to look in this mirror here on the left hand side. Yeah. All right. Just in case someone comes across in front of us. Yeah. There's nobody there. No one there. We're looking down the road. Can we see anything? No. We're looking back down the road the other way. Can you see anything? No. No. We're looking in our right mirror just in case anybody's overtaking us. Nobody there. And lastly but leastly, we're looking in our in our blind spot, which is over the right shoulder.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, Tony, right over the right shoulder. And tell me what you can see. Can you see that postman? He just disappeared into the drive. Well, what can you see out in that blind spot? Can you see that?
I can see that silver car in the drive.
That's it, that's good. So, right, so we're going to just let the handbrake down and we're going to move forward nice and slow as you can. That's it. Now, a full turn to the right, all the way on, so nice and slow turn. And just hold it there for us, Tony. Right, that's going to be our first reference point just before we take the turns off. So you can tell me where the curb comes into the window.
Oh, it's just before that mirror?
Just before that mirror. So that's our first reference point.
Right.
And then what I want you to do then, when I tell you, is to just let your foot off the brake. We're just going to go forward and then steer towards me. Steer to the left. Big steering. Big steering. And hold it there, Tony. Hold it there. Right. And now can you tell me where the curb comes in again?
Oh, it's just underneath that door mirror.
Yeah. So there are two reference points. A for taking the steering off, and B stopping before we hit the curb.
Right.
Okay. If you just look to your left now, just keep your feet still for us, and just pop your handbrake on for him, right? And we see the car there. He's in the safety zone. We're going to try and get him past if we can. I'm going to just wave him through. That's it. So you can see there, he stopped. He was going to stop, but because we've got enough room behind the car, we can then, as long as we're not moving. So it's important we're not moving when they come past. Right. So I want you to keep your feet still and get the car into reverse gear.
All right. Yeah.
It's in reverse, Tony. Make sure we're in reverse. Are we in reverse?
In reverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's most important because we don't want to be looking that way. And I'm going to go up the curb through the.
No, it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Just let's have a car through. So we're going to prepare the car again to biting point, but don't go nowhere.
All right.
Can you do that for me? That's it. Oh, nice and slowly, Tony. Nice and steady.
Not too high?
A little bit too high. Down a little bit with the clutch.
A little bit.
A little bit more. Just a centimetre.
Oh, thickness of a pound coin.
Thickness of a pound coin, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can do our observation. So if you can look at the right window and tell me what you can see.
Yeah, I can see that postman getting in the dread van.
What can we see in front of us? Anything?
No, just that's flowers in that garden.
Yeah. And down the road to the left.
I can see that right down to the crossroads.
Right. And the other one we didn't check was the actual where the blind spot normally is. It's over your right shoulder. Tell me what you can see over here.
Oh, I can see that blue car in the drive.
That's good. And then checking behind you.
Oh yeah.
No. What can you see, Tony? What can you see?
I can see number 16.
Number 16.
Yeah.
Just check. Make sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have trouble with figures and numbers. And that.
No, I don't.
They don't. Right. So just keep your feet still. And when we let the handbrake down, we're going to going back. So I want you to be looking over your left shoulder.
Yep.
Because we need to be looking in the direction of travel. But I want to keep the car nice and slow, like a snail, like we did coming out at the station. Yeah. So right. So it's handbrake down, and then we want to steer to the left. Big steers to the left. Big steers to the left, Tony.
Yeah, it's fully steered.
That's it. Keep looking and look up the road. What can you see?
Nothing coming.
Down the road. Yeah. That's it.
I see right down to the crossroads. Nothing coming.
And over your shoulder. Can you see anything?
Still see number 16.
Can you see number 16? And just hold it there, Tony, first. Right. We can pick up another reference point now. Can you tell me where the curb comes into the window?
Just about a quarter way along that, past that door pillar.
Oh, that's good. Right. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to go. When I tell you, we're going to go back slightly, and we're going to start taking the turns off.
Right.
Right. So just let it go back slightly for us, Tony.
Take the turns off?
Yeah, take the turns off, mate. And hold it there.
Alright.
Hold it there. Where does the curb come into the window now, mate?
It's near the pillar now.
That's good. So just pop your handbrake on for us and then put it into first gear, please.
Oh, first gear.
Make sure it's in first gear because, again, we don't want to be going backwards or stalling it in third gear.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. So if we look down the road, tell me what you can see. To your right.
Nothing coming.
Right. And over your right shoulder, where the blind spot is. Anything over there?
See that blue car?
Anything in front?
No, I can see number 11.
No. And down the road here to my left.
I can see right down to that crossroads.
And over your left shoulder. Right over left shoulder. Can we see? I
can't see number 16, but I can see the back end of that car on the drive.
That's good. Right. Okay, so that's good. So get the biting point. We've got the biting point. Yeah. Let the handbrake off. Nice slow car and big turns to the right. Big turns to the right, Tony. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's good. Excellent. Just keep it going like that. Nice and slow. You keep it going forward. Then we're going to park over on the left-hand side in a safe leg and convenient spot. And hold it there, Tony. Okay, so put your handbrake on into neutral, relax your feet. Right, how do you think that went?
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, because we had the car under control, and we had a nice slow car, and because we're doing that, we're then able to look round. What about the reference points? You can remember the reference points and what they were for when we went forward on the first turn?
Yeah, the first one is when I take the steering off.
Yeah.
And the second one is when I have to stop before I reach the curb.
Okay. Why are we taking the steering off? Can you remember why we're taking it off?
Oh, so when I start to go backwards, the car's already steered a little bit that way?
That's right, it makes it a lot easier to get around and quicker to get around. Then when we went backwards, do you remember the two the reference points you pointed out to me?
Yeah, the first one was when I take the steering off again.
Yep. And the second was?
To stop the back end, hitting the curb or hanging the curb.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Why is it important that we get the right gear? You remember that?
Oh yeah, if I'm going backwards and I'm in first gear, I'll be looking that way and I'll be going that way, won't I?
And the same.
The reverse.
That's good.
If I'm in reverse and I should be in first, then
that's good.
I'm looking that way and I could go that way and run somebody over, couldn't I?
Yeah. Okay, Tom, should we have another go?